under the category of immediately upcoming films that I'm really excited about, we talked a little bit about Predator Badlands, but man, I'm telling you, a close second to that, it's got to be Running Man.
Oh, dude.
You know, when they announced that Edgar Wright, who is one of my absolute favorite directors and one of my favorite people in the business, I remember thinking, that's an odd choice. Really? Are people asking for another Running Man? I'm still not sure that people are asking for another Running Man. But then back in April, they showed us at CinemaCon this big preview for it. And Rob, I know you and I and Ann and Cody were all like, holy crap, that looks good. And then the trailers have come out, and I think the trailers have been pretty solid as well. I think the newest trailer looks really banger. I think that looks great. I think this movie's going to be wonderful. Well, somebody else has chimed in on it. As apparently Glenn Powell sat down and hosted Arnold Schwarzenegger. Was in a screening of it with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he talked to Arnold Schwarzenegger, and apparently Arnold Schwarzenegger loved it. As this headline, The Running Man, Glenn Powell shares Arnold Schwarzenegger review on the remake, and it goes on to say this in Superhero Hype. Glenn Powell has opened up about Arnold Schwarzenegger's reaction to the upcoming remake of The Running Man. Really, technically, it's not a remake of The Running Man. It's another version of the book that's very different from Arnold's version.
And Stephen King wrote it under his Richard Bachman pseudonym before he was uncovered as being Richard Bachman.
But anyway, he writes, reaction to the upcoming remake of The Running Man. The actor who leads the new adaptation of the 1987 sci-fi thriller revealed that Schwarzenegger was very impressed after reviewing it. According to Powell, the Terminator star praised the new adaptation for its approach, calling it incredible. He was so excited that the Stephen King book we put on screen, it's really the first time Stephen's vision has been properly adapted. He just kept saying, it's incredible. He loved it, freaked out, was so excited. I like hearing that.
I do too.
Now listen, if you want to put on your skeptic hat, maybe you could say, Arnold was just being polite. Arnold doesn't strike me, nor has he ever struck me as a guy who will just be polite. And it sounds like what Glenn Powell's saying is that I love the fact that he just kept saying, it's incredible, it's incredible. He loved it and he freaked out. He was so excited. Fantastic.
When asked if he'd see it again, he said, I'll be back.
Oh. But he probably did. And I'm glad Glenn Powell didn't relay that. Anyway, listen, I'm excited to see it. Listen, if Arnold Schwarzenegger came out and said he hated the movie, is that going to change my enthusiasm for it? Probably not. Does hearing him say he loved it increase my enthusiasm for it? Maybe a little bit, maybe a bit. But it's just good hearing that the star of the original one came out and realized he has nothing to do with this film. It's some people, if you want to be more pessimistic, some people might look at this as they're replacing my movie. Instead, he came out and he said he loved it. He thinks it's great. Anyway, Rob, I don't want to put too much weight on one person's opinion of the movie, but you'd rather hear that he liked it than he didn't. Anyway, what do you think about it?
Well, I bought that paperback off the shelf when it was brand new. I bought it at the bookstore next to the Crossroads Theater in Bellevue, Washington. I remember exactly. I was so excited to get that book. The Schwarzenegger movie does not resemble that book at all. There's nothing like it. I mean, the Running Man clearly was inspired by movies like The 10th Victim with Ursula Andress and Marcello Mastroianni, maybe a little bit of Death Race 2000, the original from 74. Yeah. And it has a lot of that in it, but it also has a lot of social commentary. You know, I saw somebody complain that somebody else said, well, it's very relevant to today. The book is set in 2025, and it came out in 82. And it's like, you couldn't have torn a book more out of the headlines than this book is. And so all of that, people are going to say it's a political treatise, and I don't like politics. It's the book. That was what was in the book. It's just coincidental. It's a very prophetic book. And there's so much in it, the way it skewers the media. I mean, there's so much in this book I can't wait to see. I think that Arnold Schwarzenegger is smart enough to look at this. It's a total reinvention of the concept that actually goes back to the original version of the concept. So I'm sure he loved it because it's a very different kind of a film. At least, and from what we saw, it's much more heightened than the book is. You know, it's got a lot more, there's a lot more, it's very heightened in terms of its approach, but it should be. So is Schwarzenegger's version, but in a different way.
Yeah. And
I can't believe, John, that in September we got The Long Walk, which was another
so
Bachman
good.
book.
Another
and
one.
then we got this. These Bachman books were so in my junior high and high school years. Those two books in particular, I must have reread them each 5 or 6 times. And to see them in the same year, that's crazy. I can't wait for this movie. And Edgar Wright's the perfect director for it.
Yeah, especially if you're unsure about that, then I'm gonna guess you didn't see Baby Driver, because if you look at the kinetic energy that Edgar Wright brings into it, and you think about that translating over into something like Glenn Powell and The Running Man, I think you're right. I think I got to admit, the first time I heard it, I thought that was an interesting pairing, a little odd. But now, the more I think about it, I think you're right. I think Edgar Wright's the perfect guy to direct this.
And this cast. Look at like Michael Cera playing that role. I mean, you've got Josh Brolin is in this movie as the network executive. I mean, what's not to love?
Yeah, it looks good. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Running Man is coming out, and the Arnold has put his stamp of approval on it, saying he freaked out, kept saying it was incredible. That doesn't mean we will. He's still just one guy. But it is good to hear. Anyway, whatever you guys think about this, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.